Okay, I'm out here with my guy here. That's Gary Metzger.
Ooh.
He's with the RLDS Faith. He's a 70 with him, and he's an absolute stud. I just got done eating in their home. They fed me chicken and potatoes and noodles and tortillas and a little bit of salad. So thank you, Tita. So Gary's going to teach me a little bit. We're going to go check out the temple lot. So Gary, fire away.
Okay. So we know from church history that they were kicked out of Missouri, right, in 1838, and they went to Nauvoo. So many years later, in the early 1860s, there's an elder of the original church. His name was Granville Hedrick, that felt led of the Lord, that the Lord wanted to come back and reclaim their properties. And people didn't know because it was still on the books that Mormons would be killed on sight. So, but they came in faith, and when they came here, they were given title to the temple lot because they were the first ones here. And they are the current owners. Granville Hedrick, we call them the Hedrickites, but they were from the original church.
You get that? The Hedrickites own the temple lot. We are going to drive there, and we're going to say a prayer there or something.
Amen.
He says amen. That's what we're going to do. We're going to go say a prayer there. I'm going to go check it out. So stay tuned. We'll be at the temple lot. Okay, so we're out here at the temple lot. If you can see, that is the, what's that, the auditorium? Auditorium there. This is the temple lot. So this is where those 24 temples are supposed to be built. And bam, look at that thing. Amazing. And so Gary, like, seriously, this is a guy that would come here early in the morning. He would meditate, ponder, pray. Right, this spot right around here, right, Gary?
Yes, right here.
What a stud. Like, how many of us are like, hey, I'm waking up at 6. All of us, you know what? We're like, I'm waking up at 6:30, but I'm going to go get a 6-pack. Well, Gary over here is like, you know, basically going to the Lord. Like, are we doing that? I don't know. This guy is. So I'm excited to be here. He and I are going to pray right here on this lot. Okay, say that again, Gary.
So they found a stone. It said 40...
They started digging for the temple, right?
Yes. And then underneath it, they found the stones, which they have in their own visitor center, that have a 40 and a W, like 40 feet west. They found that stone right here where it says, spot where the stone was found. So they know that 40 feet west would be one of the corners. They also found a stone that said S-E-C-T, which is southeast corner of the temple, and that was also marked. So with those, they put the 4 cornerstones for the building as identified in the Doctrine and Covenants, like 90 feet by 180, whatever it is that it says. I forgot the exact dimensions.
And this is owned right here. This is the Hedrickites?
Yes. The church.
And you said they got a couple hundred people?
They have thousands that are in their church worldwide, and they have a large gathering in Mexico.
Amazing. Okay, so I'm walking out here on the temple lot. You can see there's a guy. How often does this guy come and walk this?
Weekly.
Weekly?
No, Steve White comes here every day.
Steve White
Rain
comes
or
here.
shine, 5 degrees above zero or 95 degrees, he's here.
Steve White comes and walks. You can see the path. He walks from cornerstone to cornerstone to cornerstone. He's blazed a trail here. You can see I've got my feet going. I'm getting some grounding in out here. And we were talking about section 132. Now, in the RLDS church, you guys don't have 132, right?
No, we don't believe that was ever written by Joseph.
And so you guys don't accept it because you said you don't have an original.
Yeah, the original doesn't exist, and the copy wasn't signed, and it wasn't ever presented publicly until 1852 in Salt Lake area. It was never presented publicly in the Independence Nauvoo area.
So in the RLDS church, they don't believe in section 132. They don't think it came from Joseph, right?
Good.
Yeah. So these guys, just a little background to the RLDS. At the time that Joseph Smith died, there was huge. Well, just explain to everybody.
Sure. There was a number of people in 1844 and 1850 that didn't believe that Brigham would be the next president and prophet of the church, that they believed the 4 times that Joseph Jr. the martyr had set apart his son Joseph III to be the successor, that he would in fact become that. So in 1851 to 1853, a group of branches of the original church came together with that belief that polygamy was never taught by Jesus Christ here through the church, and that Joseph III would be the successor. That's what the establishment of the RLDS church was based on.
Okay, so they don't believe in Section 132, and they didn't practice polygamy, right?
Correct.
So they didn't like the whole polygamy thing, and we know how that went down. Eventually, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints had to abandon that altogether. As we know, if they didn't, it would be to their utter destruction. So that's quizzical. Anyways, out here at the temple site, having a great time with my friend here, Gary Metzger. And Gary, you're like a 70 in the RLDS, is that?
Yeah, and what would be called the restoration branches that departed from the RLDS Church back in 1984.
Holy crap. Okay, Gary, so now you're going to have to tell me, so there was a break-off on a break-off on a break-off.
Yeah, we know how to make ites.
Hopefully we can gather them all back together
Amen.
again, and let's hope Jesus can figure this out, because right now it's a little messy.